Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rattlesnake and it is, as Sam Off Track would say, recap time, baby. If you don't already know, the Chinese Grand Prix was held last Sunday, so I'll be getting into that in just a second. My trusty notebook here. But before we get into anything, I would just like to say a very big thank you for everybody for 200 subscribers. I know for a lot of people that's, 200 is nothing. It's seriously, it means the world to me. I've said it before and I said it again, this channel is for fun. I enjoy making these videos, but I am so appreciative of all the support that you guys seem to be putting in. As well as, I think it was 11,000 views on that stupid Rush E video. I don't know why, but you guys seem to like it, so I can make more if you want. I'm thinking of doing something special for 200. If you have anything in mind or if you have anything you want to see, leave it in the comments below and I might get to it. The other thing is, you might notice some updated camera quality. That would be because my camera has updated. I got a new phone to film on. Well, not a new phone to film on, I got a new phone because my old one was quite frankly terrible. It was not great. So here we are. But without further ado, let's get into the Chinese Grand Prix. And if you haven't watched any of it, if you're a fan of Formula 1, if you're a fan of racing, go watch the race. It has some really good stuff between the Ferraris, between the McLarens, no it doesn't, the Mercedes, sorry, so used to saying McLaren. But these are my notes. Now, notably it was a sprint weekend. I was working during the sprint, so I had to watch it quite late at night, and I don't really have all the notes, but I think the most notable things that happened were Oscar overtaking before the line in the safety car restart, having to give his place back to Colapinto or something. Maybe Behrman? I don't know who he had to give it back to, but yeah, we had a few crashes during the sprint. I honestly don't remember much of it. If you want to go check that out, it's a pretty short race. Pretty good one though, and I would have liked to have seen a few more laps just so that Max could have gotten a few more points higher. Anyway, the actual qualifying was quite interesting as Sergio Perez, actually this is more important from the sprint, had his car start to dissolve right at the end of the sprint and could not qualify at all, therefore putting him dead last for the start of the race. Or so we thought, because as we started to watch the broadcast, it was announced that McLaren looked like they were not to start the race, and they did not. They had a double DNS. Now, it has now been confirmed as to why there was something to do with power issues, I believe, for one of the cars. The other car had engine troubles, I believe. I'll research it and put it down below, as I usually do. But not only did we have a McLaren double DNS, we also had Bortoletto DNSing and Albon DNSing. Not very helpful. 4 of the 22 cars just didn't start, so that left us with 18 cars to start on track. Yes, I know how maths works. What the hell? Obviously we had a very important thing from qualifying, Kimi being the youngest pole sitter in history, taking away the record from Sebastian Vettel, who was 21. I believe, when he made that record, which doesn't seem right. I will research that and make sure it's correct. We also had Behrman and Hadjar having their double spin moment, where Behrman has since gone on to say the moment that I almost killed Hadjar. If I can find a clip of that, I will insert it.
Check that moment in lap 1. Yeah, the moment where I almost killed him, to be honest. I mean, sorry, that's not the word I was looking for. Damn, it was close.
We also had, not only that, we had Lance Stroll DNFing. Not surprising. I actually don't know why he didn't finish. What happened was we were just watching it. They cut away to, in our broadcast at least, they had cut away to a clip of Oscar Piastri, I think, walking very sadly. And then all of a sudden Lance Stroll was off. It was probably due to Aston Martin's incredibly horrific car that electrocutes the people in it. I saw him on his little motorbike though, so that's fun. Colapinto was second at one point during the race. Yes, going from having a full penalty named after him, the Colapinto and Go, as you can check out in my previous recap, to now being second in the race. What the hell? I don't know what the Alpines are doing. They are absolutely cooking. Alonso then retired after Lance Stroll DNF'd and was quoted with saying he could not feel his hands and believed that any longer in the car would give him permanent nerve damage. He felt he was apparently in a bit of pain. His hands were quite numb. Esteban Ocon received a 10-second time penalty. Yeah, I can't believe I saw that one live. For those of you who are newer to the Formula 1 community and haven't stumbled upon the Ocon time penalty meme, Esteban Ocon during the 2022 or 2023 season used to get a lot of 10-second time penalties, and there was a really famous clip of Crofty saying, Esteban Ocon has received a 10-second time penalty. I'll put it in from this race.
Because guess what? He's got another effort with DRS coming his way. Esteban Ocon has got a 10-second time penalty for serving his 5.
But we hadn't seen one for a while, and he managed to get one again. He actually admitted he was at fault for the contact, which is surprising given how unable everybody is to admit that they are at fault, even when they are. But we also had the commentators, speaking of the commentators being incredibly British, to the point of it being incredibly annoying. I wish we still had the F1 TV commentator or broadcast, because that was way better. At the end of last season, we were able to have non-Sky Sports broadcast, which was very, very good. We actually got to know more about the race. They highlighted certain other drivers. You know, they brought up relevant points to the race rather than them just rambling about the British drivers. Obviously, the big thing of this of the Grand Prix, I'm yet to get to. But I will speak on it when I do, because it was ridiculous. The way they managed to talk about the British drivers versus the international drivers, because that's basically what the whole sport is, was so stupid. I saw it a lot last year with Lando Norris leading the championship, and it got to a point where we were so sick of hearing about Lando Norris, it just seemed impossible for them to not bring him up. He could be dead last in a race and they would have still brought him up. It was frustrating. Oh yeah, something I didn't have in my notes, but I should have put it in there, was the Cadillacs having a tussle between themselves. Instead of Mercedes out the front having a tussle with themselves, it was Cadillac at the back. Forget Mercedes, 2026 is the year of Cadillac. I don't know a good name for them, but yeah, being Mercedes from 2016. If you are new to the community, I might make a deep dive on Mercedes. If not, you can check out countless other creators. I'll link some of my favorites below who have covered them. But then, heartbreakingly, Max was told to retire the car as he had power issues. That was painful to hear. That radio. He was doing so mid, and yet next race will be our race. Yep, the Red Bull is still terrible. It has had problems. It had problems all weekend with starts in both the sprint and the main race. Max had a terrible start. It just wouldn't. He dropped back to 17th, I think. He dropped back to 18th in the actual Grand Prix. Managed to claw his way all the way back up to 6th, which is where he started. No, he started 8th. He managed to claw his way back up to 6th and then had to retire, so that was lovely. Just simply lovely. Maybe I'll take my poster down. Maybe I cursed him. Anyway, getting on to the big thing of the weekend. If by now you haven't heard about it, it is truly phenomenal news. Andrea Kimi Antonelli, 19 years old, from Bologna, Italy, won his very first Grand Prix, had his maiden victory, which I believe was one of my predictions. That would be... Nope, none of them. None of my predictions. I should have... Rookie podium? I mean, technically that was correct. Technically I'm correct. I had a 2025 rookie podium. Technically I was correct there. I did say earlier this year that I believed he would get his maiden victory, but I don't think I put it in my predictions video. Whatever. In very important news, Kimi Antonelli did it. He truly is a wonderful thing to have watched. Watching someone's first win is special. Watching somebody that young win, that's another thing all on its own. And he led almost every lap. Once he got out in front, I believe lap 2 or lap 3, he gunned it and kept that lead. He did so well to keep it through everything, through the heart attack moment where he almost went off. It was amazing. Many of you have probably seen the clip of him crying in the post-race interview because of how much love he has gotten. It is important to note he is one of only 2 people ever to win as a teenager. That is something special. He obviously is not going to take the youngest winner. I don't think anyone will ever beat that record because of how hard it is to actually get that record in the first place. But damn, second place is not bad. Second place is really good. We had a few other important moments, I guess, for Law, as it was the 11th anniversary of the debut of Carlos Sainz Jr. and Max Verstappen, where they had their first race, their debut in Australia 2015. It is really important to note that Max DNF'd in both races and Carlos came the same place in both races. I think it was like 8th or whatnot. I'll put it up. But yeah, it was really interesting that both things happened both times. I believe that is all. I would like to say a thank you to Derek for suggesting this. Derek's my co-worker, as he does Supercoach, and he said that he has his notebook with him for the games to note down anything important, and I had that with me watching the race. It was quite a good one. If you enjoy battling, both Sir Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc said it was some of the most fun they'd had racing. They were battling each other the entire time. They had some really good close calls. The defense of both of them was amazing. It was like Sir Lewis woke up and remembered who he was. The Ferrari is finally alive under them, and I truly do hope we get to see Ferrari fighting for a championship. That would be so special to watch. Not only that, I would love it if I want 3 out of 4 of the drivers from the 2 top teams currently to win. I mean, Kimi Antonelli winning his first championship at 19, that would be amazing to watch. Sir Lewis Hamilton winning his 8th in a Ferrari, incredible to watch. Charles Leclerc finally bringing it home for Ferrari, insane. That was the other point I was going to get to, the British commentators. You'd think, for something so monumental as your maiden win at 19 years old, you would have them absolutely going nuts every lap, going, oh my god, he's going to do it, he's going to win, I cannot believe what we're witnessing. You know, levels of the Charles Leclerc 2024 Monaco commentary, or the stuff that would happen like the last lap of Abu Dhabi 21, Abu Dhabi even 25, I guess. No, the commentators were more excited and more thrilled for Lewis Hamilton to be getting his first podium in a Ferrari. Not even a win, a podium. Mind you, this man has 7 championships. Don't argue with me, he has 7. Full stop, the end. Like, you'd think it would have been his first bloody podium of all time. No, they were more excited to see that happen than they were to see Kimi win. Now, I do digress. They did in that last lap, as he was coming around the corners, make a little nice speech about him. But it was mental how many times they just did not bring it up. They brought up the McLaren DNF, or DNS actually, more times than they did Kimi winning. Absolutely bloody ridiculous. It has been said time and again that the British commentators do not care for anyone other than their own, and I know because they're running a British race, whatever the hell it's called, broadcast, that the British people are going to be more excited to be hearing about their drivers. And it's probably the same in any country. But the fact is, we have to watch it because we don't have any of our broadcasts of our own. A lot of English-speaking people, like English-speaking viewers, are basically forced to watch the Sky Sports broadcast. And the way they speak about the international drivers really irks me. He's going to steal pole off of the thing, but Lando Norris takes it, claims it. It's like... It's so hard to describe, but once you start seeing it, you're never going to stop seeing it, you know? And I really wish that they would stop doing it because it makes watching the race so frustrating. It was actually pleasant when they had the breaks, when in the broadcast they would be showing, you know, Lando or Oscar being interviewed, and they stopped commentating so that the viewers could watch it, but because we weren't watching on Sky Sports, we couldn't watch it. We just heard the cars. It was lovely. But yeah, that's enough about my British commentators rant over. I hope you enjoyed hearing my thoughts and all my notes on the Chinese Grand Prix. We do have a week off, and then it's the Japanese Grand Prix, but in the week between I might make a Mercedes video, or maybe for my 200th you can request a driver and I'll make a video on them. How about that? Or request anything, I don't care. 200th, as if it's my 200th video, it's not. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for showing the love that you have, for subscribing, for commenting, for supporting me. It really does mean the world. Yeah, and I'll see you next time. I hope you enjoy. Peace.
Coming his way, Esteban Ocon has got a 10-second time penalty.